Hi everyone, I'm Jason Crandell and I want to talk for a few moments about twisting and creating more comfort and more effectiveness in all the twists. And I want to start the conversation by saying that twists are these really wonderful ways to move the body, especially the spine and the abdomen and the ribs, the thorax, and the whole trunk in ways that they have evolved to move, right? The body has evolved in order to be able to rotate and twist. But the truth is that in most modern environments, we don't twist very much. And so when we don't have a regular yoga practice when we twist, or some other physical modality where we twist, we start to lose some of the articulation of the spine and we start to feel overly stuck in these regions. So twisting is a really, really beautiful, wonderful thing so long as it's done with skill. So I want to give you a couple of tips on twisting more comfortably and efficiently. And the first thing that I want to suggest is that you spend some time before your significant twists working with opening up your hips, okay? So creating more suppleness and more stretch and more circulation and more range of motion in the outside of your hips is actually going to give you more comfort and more freedom and more range for rotation in the spine. If the hips are really bound up and tight, it's very hard to get the pelvis in the most optimal position for the spine to rotate, okay? So spend some time working with your hips. The next thing I want to say, somewhat similar to forward bends and somewhat similar to back bends, once you spend some time opening up your hips, when you do a twist, make sure that you lengthen your spine. So in creating that axial extension, that upward elongation through your spine, you're going to slightly decompress your spine, and in so doing, give you greater facilitation for a rotation. So opening the hips and then lengthening the spine and the rotations. Then the next thing I want to suggest, and this is just general, there are of course certain exceptions at times, but that when you rotate, that once you've lengthened your spine and you initiate your rotation, it's nice to often initiate rotation from abdominal muscles, okay? And I'm not going to go into detail about exactly what those muscles are, but I want you to feel like when you twist from your center, right? You slightly draw in through the abdominals and rotate with them. And then the next tip is then, once you've initiated that rotation from your abdominals, then use the leverage of your limbs. So if you just rotate from your abdominals, you won't go very far because you won't have much effective leverage. So we start the rotation often, not always, but often with the abdominal region. And then we facilitate that, we support that, and that we deepen that by using the arms and the relationship between the arms and the legs. Of course, you're not being aggressive, you're just using this as a facilitator, okay? And then the last thing I want to say about twists is make sure you give yourself some room to breathe, okay? It's hard to breathe in twists for a lot of reasons that we won't go into. But when you twist, don't push so hard and be so aggressive and so driven to try and get somewhere that you no longer have the ability to breathe, okay? So give yourself a little bit of room to feel your breath and allow natural movement with it, okay? So good luck in your twists. I hope this helps. Thanks for taking the time.